Hi, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Tonight we're talking about fragrances from two legacy French fragrance houses. One I have several fragrances from. I've been collecting for a couple of years now, but I've recently added to my collection and I just had to talk about it. The second legacy fragrance house from France, I will save till the end, so definitely stay tuned. There's only one from that house, but I've been dying to try it and I finally located the fragrance I was looking for. And I just had to share with all of you. So before we get into it, tonight's beverage of choice is a Chardonnay. It's a domestic organic Chardonnay, and it's fine. It's okay. I think I might have mentioned, excuse me, in some other videos, my husband has a sensitivity to various additives and wine, so we're trying to rid ourselves of those things and go with the organic. It doesn't taste like it's traditionally oaked. It maybe was in a steel cask, but hey, what are you going to do? My palate's nice and clean for the fragrances tonight. How about that? Let's get right into it. The first fragrance house that I'm going to be talking about is Molinard. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This started in France in 1849. How about that? I mean, that's an old fragrance house. In Grasse, France, I'm positive I'm mispronouncing that. Please forgive me. I do not speak French. This is still an entirely family-run fragrance house. Their headquarters were designed by the same person who designed the Eiffel Tower. They also did the first ever solid fragrance. I think they called it concrete or something along those lines. I may be pronouncing that wrong as well. They've collaborated for their beautiful bottles with the likes of Lalique and Baccarat. Gorgeous stuff. And like I said, I've managed to grab a few into my collection, but tonight we're going to talk about the most recent additions. The first of which is, sadly, something of a disappointment, but I only got a sample of it. I've been dying to try it. It is Iris by Molinard. So this is a 2024 release. It's an EDP, although I have a sample. A 75 ml goes for about $122. This is a violet, pink pepper, pear, iris, rose, musk, cashmere, and cedar. I get a lot of ambrette out of this, which is typically that white musk note. I get a lot of powdery floral out of this. It's not, it's a very weak iris to me. A little bit of rose just to kind of give it some more body, but I think it's very, very pretty, but it's just too light. When I wear a fragrance, I want to experience it. And this on me is performing like a body splash. With that said, given the performance of the other Molinard fragrances I have, I think it's possible there's something in this particular fragrance that is that I'm perceiving in a way that's subpar. It is far too light. I can barely smell it, and that seems off when it comes to this house and the performance of all other fragrances I've tried from it. So I suspect it could be me. If they made an extrait, I'd be all over it. Molinard, please make an extrait of this iris, because when I can smell it, I want to just take it all in. I want more of it, but there's nothing more for me to get on my skin. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced this fragrance and whether you think it is very, very light, or maybe it's just me having some kind of an olfactory, performance issue that's singular to me. It's not necessarily something that others go through. I can barely smell it. What I can smell smells amazing, but I can barely smell it. And that's Iris from Molinard. Next, quite the contrary, is Violet from Molinard. I have a full bottle of this one. It's incredible. No question about that. This is a strong performer. This is a 75 mil. It's a 2016 release. It's an EDP, and it also goes for about $122. The notes in this are violet, black currant, bergamot, lemon, rose, green apple, peach, jasmine, iris, and musk. This is bright and powdery at the same time. Oh gosh, you guys, it's vivacity in a bottle. It's, just the brightness and spirit of a very warm spring day. Here in New York, we have pretty chilly springs, but this is a warm spring day with beautiful purple blooms all around you. I'm imagining myself just out in a field of beautiful purple flowers. I've got everyone I love nearby who's safe and sound. I don't have to worry about anyone. I don't have to go to work for 2 weeks at least. I have no debt of any kind, not even my mortgage. I mean, this is all's right with the world kind of fragrance. This performance is excellent, even though it's, a purple floral. A lot of times those, at least on me, are a little more subtle. This one packs a punch. So you want to be careful because it's inconsistent with, if you overspray it, it gets weird. And I tend to overspray, especially purple florals. Be careful with this one. Take my word for it. Just, trust in the fact that it does perform pretty well. I think very well. Fantastic stuff. It's just lovely. It's Violet by Molinard. Next, we've got Osmanthus by Molinard. This, I got a small roller bottle. This is, I think, 7.5 mils, but this EDP and 2024 release, if you were to get a 75 mil, would go for about $122. This is bergamot, pink bay. I'm not sure what pink bay is. Let me know in the comments if you know. I should have looked that up before I made the video. Mandarin, jasmine, osmanthus, tuberose, apricot, iris, white musk. So this is so good. I smelled this. I tested it for about 2 hours. I went full bottle. This is bright fruit, overripe peach, apricot, sumo oranges, maybe some underripe cherries, but that peach is overripe. Let me know if you've ever done this. Did you ever get an overripe peach and it's maybe a little bruised and you think, well, I got to toss this, but just for fun, you got it. You just squished. Did you ever do that? And the smell is unbelievable. And you think to yourself, as the juice and pulp are streaming down your arm, what the heck was I thinking? I should have eaten this. This smells incredible. I've never tasted a peach that smells this good. And you contemplate whether it would be revolting to lick all of this pulp and juice off your own arm. Ever do that? That's what this smells like with Osmanthus. Okay, so it's that overripe, fruity gorgeousness meets leathery, powdery floral, which is what I get from Osmanthus. Okay, it's so bright and so beautiful. It's freeing. And when I think of a freeing experience for me, takes me way back into my youth, the last day of school. And it's just timely, right? Because here in New York, the kids are getting close to the end of the school year. And I remember, I definitely, did not love going to school. Um, and the last day of school was always a treat, though, because it was usually a half day. It was really just to get together and, goof around with your friends and clean out your locker. Um, and you knew that you had the entirety of the summer ahead of you, and there was summer vacation and fun things to do and hanging out, and you didn't have to get up early and you could stay up late and all that stuff. And just the promise of tomorrow and day after day after day after day of not having to go to school, that freeing feeling, that is what I get from this Osmanthus fragrance. It is unbelievably beautiful. It is so happy. It is so upbeat, bright, perfect, enlivening, beautiful. Osmanthus by Molinard. Moving on. Whoops, I've got one I've been chasing after for quite some time. I heard so much about this fragrance. It is Habanita. There we go. Habanita by Molinard. This fragrance, it's hard to get. At least it was for me. I almost ended up with an eau de cologne. This is an eau de parfum, but I was willing to settle for anything because I was so excited about it. This was a blind buy, but I heard so many wonderful things. The notes really seemed to resonate with me. Please, by the way, friends, do not blind buy because I did. Okay, there are a lot of people who are in the fragcom, and folks I've gotten to know personally outside of YouTube, whose taste is very similar to mine. And some of you subscribers are among them, among the folks whose taste I've really, really bonded with. Because I have a positive blind buy experience doesn't mean you will. So as much as I want to be helpful and honest, everyone's different, right? I mean, we just had the discussion about, well, I just had the discussion, right? It's kind of a me talking alone, but you're hearing me. Iris, I can barely smell it. I love it. I can barely smell it. For someone else, it may be a beast. I doubt it, but it's possible. Anything's possible, right? Just because I love something and I have a successful blind buy, please don't trust in that completely. Make sure you trust your own judgment first and not just my judgment. I try to be as straightforward as I can, but I did trust the opinion of others with Habanita, and it was a success. I have had a few blind buys over the course of my collection experience that were unsuccessful, but most of the time I've gotten lucky, I think. This one was definitely lucky. This is so wonderful. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is 75 mil. It is a 2012 release. It's an EDP and it goes for about $150 if you can find it. A lot of places, almost all places I looked, this was out of stock. The notes in this are mastic, geranium, petitgrain, nutmeg, heliotrope, vetiver, ylang ylang, rose, cedar, mimosa, jasmine, vanilla, amber, oak moss, yay, musk, and patchouli. I absolutely love it. If you like, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. If you like Baby Cat, that dark, vanillic leather, if you were to add tobacco, that would get you close to this, and a spiciness, a little bit of a spiciness that's somewhat muted. The oak moss in here is a little bit on the subtle side. So you don't get the kind of oak moss that you would get in like a full-on classic sheepra. Um, this is, it's there, the oak moss is there, but it's definitely subtle, and it creates, a very well-rounded, unique experience as opposed to multiple linear experiences coming together. Um, it's a very good blend of fragrances, or fragrance notes, I should say. This is a kind of stalwart structure, oak and tobacco, wet tobacco, very sturdy, very strong, masculine, safe, strength. To me, this makes me feel safe. It's dark, dried fruit, but very, very subtle. It's not a lot of sweetness. It's more dry as opposed to wet and resinous, even though there's a wet tobacco in here. The resin is almost maple-like, not the mainstream high fructose corn syrup type maple. I mean, the real stuff that comes out of a tree. That kind of maple is there's a nod to that and a nod to classic tobacco. This makes me feel safe. I love it. The performance is excellent, excellent. This does lean masculine. I don't care. I want to just be in this. It's probably a colder weather fragrance as opposed to, the dog days of summer. Who cares? Wear what you want. I love it. Amazing performance. I'm so glad I got it. Habanita by Molinard. All right, so we are done with the Molinard fragrances. Can you guess the second vintage fragrance, or I should say legacy fragrance house out of France? Think fast. 1, 2, 3. It is Rance, R-A-N-C-E, which I am probably butchering. Please forgive me. R-A-N-C-E. Yes. This house started in the 1600s, my goodness. Then about 100 years later in Grasse, France, the founder who actually turned the business into a full-on perfumery kind of built it out and made it exclusive to perfumes. And he made perfumes for Napoleon and Josephine Bonaparte. How's that for legacy? Wow. In fact, it is so legacy, so linear in its management over the years, that members, or at least one member of the Rance family, is still at the helm of the company today, according to my research, which I think is pretty darn remarkable. Well, that in and of itself intrigued me. I love heritage, and this screams heritage to me. And there was one fragrance that in the course of studying up on this house a bit, I thought would be a fantastic fragrance for me. Again, a blind buy. Again, please be careful. Do not just take my word for it. Know yourself. Know the notes. If you know someone who's got a full bottle and you can get a decant, go for that. I trusted my gut, and fortunately it worked out. I bought Hortense by Rance. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hortense. This is a 75 ml eau de parfum. It goes for about $90, like Molinard. Insanely good price point by today's standards for this fragrance. The notes in here are cardamom, pepper, bergamot, cinnamon, Bulgarian rose, incense, cedar, mahogany, and vanilla. There are so many experiences you have with this fragrance. It has the opening, which, you just get that bergamot and the spices and the rose, and then it simmers down to this incense and wood. In the beginning, there's some green too. Oh, it's just so lovely. I am blown away by the quality of this fragrance. In fact, I would say the quality is the same, if not better, than other French legacy kind of heritage brands that I won't mention that I love. At least I love their fragrances. Um, I'd put this right up there in terms of performance and quality and unique experiences, even more so with this one. It's vanilla incense. That cardamom is beautiful green cardamom with the hint of cozy chai going on in there. Very comforting and enveloping. Imagine Thanksgiving. You've had a huge meal and you just kind of loosen up your shirt and you loosen up your pants and you just flop down on the couch and veg out for a little bit. You are overloaded with tryptophan and you just relax and just kind of zonk out for a bit, feeling good. And maybe an hour or so later, someone wakes you up and says, dessert, and pie. Yay. And coffee. Could you imagine? What could be better? Wearing this while you're doing it, of course. And that very satisfying kind of complete happiness. Again, everyone you love around you, everyone's safe, everyone's happy, everyone's together. Briefly, all is right with the world. And you can relax, close your eyes, take it all in, and experience the smells of the season. It's, oh gosh, this is really good stuff. Have you tried this stuff? I can't say enough good. I have to get more from this house. And if you have any recommendations, some of you guys are just like completely tuned into my brain. Let me know. Have you ever tried anything from this house? This is Rance Hortense. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. So, did you guess it was Rance? What did you think about Molinard? Let me know in the comments. If you aren't yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.